Welcome to Wasatch Weekends for this Sunday, November 12th edition. I'm your host, Ben Roof, and since it's November and we're moving into the holidays, we're going to talk a little bit about getting ready for the holidays on today's show. We're going to talk about centerpieces for Thanksgiving, a little bit about holiday shopping, and then we're going to round things off with an artist spotlight. But a quick local announcement to start the show off. In November, the Park City Library holds an annual food drive for the Christian Center of Park City, and that food drive is going on throughout the month. They are looking for specific items, but they're happy to take any donated food that is available. Some of the things that they are specifically looking for is canned chicken and canned tuna, as well as peanut butter, macaroni and cheese, individual servings of fruit, spices, cooking oil, and canned soup. And as with any food drive, anything that is going to be able to have a longer shelf life is ideal for donations, if that is something you guys are looking to do this Sunday. But now, let's take a quick look at the weather before we get on with the rest of the show.
This weather report is brought to you by Sun and Ski Sports, your new mountain sports headquarters.
Welcome back to Wasatch Weekends. As we're moving into the holidays, one thing that we can always get down on is a little bit of holiday arts and crafts. And Kimberly Perot has some amazing holiday centerpieces that she's going to show us how to make right now.
Wonderful, wonderful weekend as we start to celebrate all the things that we love here, which is skiing and snowboarding and all of the fun winter activities. Now, before we move into winter activities, you're probably wondering, what in the world am I doing and what am I standing in front of? It is time for some holiday crafting, and you're probably hosting guests or friends, and you want something to make your table a little bit more festive and more decorative, and so I'm going to show you an easy centerpiece idea. Now, the best part about this is that you can literally put whatever you want to in it. So I had two vases. You've got a smaller vase and a larger vase. You're just going to stack these in here, and then what I love about this is that you can really put anything that you want to on the outside, and this kind of just keeps it very pretty so you can change it out throughout the seasons. So right now we're going to go ahead and focus on our Thanksgiving/fall table centerpiece. We've got all of this fun straw, which I'm going to actually take my scissors right here, and we're going to cut it up into various pieces, and I'm just going to shove it on the inside of this here, and you're just going to continue to layer. So you just push it all down in there, and it's just going to make it really pretty. One of the fun things that you can do with these vases, get those little twinkle lights that have the battery pack. You can put the battery pack on the inside of the inner piece of your vase, and then you can intertwine it. But today we're just going to keep it simple. We're going to put all of this fun stuff in here. Another fun idea you could do, you can take popcorn kernels, obviously not popped, and pour them in here too if you wanted to just give a little bit of variety. And then if you're moving into the Christmas season, you can layer it with like peppermints or Christmas candies or really whatever it is that you want to do. And you're just going to keep layering that in there. Next thing we're going to do is basically just take an assortment of flowers. I've got all kinds here, as you can see. I bought these at my local craft store. Right now, fall flowers are on sale, so it's a great time to get out there if you're just going, how do I spice things up and make it a little bit different? But you just kind of, I take, actually, before I even show you that, you just take a piece of newspaper and you're going to crumble it up just like this. You're going to shove it in the middle, so it provides a little bit of stability for your flowers. And then you just start layering it as needed. I love to have a variety of things, so we can take some of the shapes. I've got my wire cutters here. And this will just basically give us a little bit of depth and dimension, a variety of heights. You just kind of work it just like that. It clips super simple. We'll put a few there. And you know what's awesome about these flowers? You can literally bend them so that they're sticking out exactly how you want to. Now for our centerpiece, I like to take something that's a little bit different, right? And I've got these fun, wispy, I don't even know, they look like pieces of wheat almost. So I like to put this kind of in here. Let's start there, and then we're gonna take this fun like berry sprig and poke it through just like that. We'll just get a couple more here, and then once you kind of arrange the flowers that you want to, I think we'll take a little bit more of these and you'll figure out what pieces are missing, and then you can go in and do that. So I don't know about you, but I love holiday crafts. I've loved crafting ever since I was a kid. It's fun to kind of experiment with my creative side. You know, I'm not often do we get to do that in the hustle and bustle of everyday life. So just bent this one out so it looks really pretty. Now, as always, crafting is great to have some tape. So once we kind of figure out which flowers are going to be the bulk of it, you can stick some tape in the middle of these vases to kind of keep everything all in one spot. We're going to take these pretty white roses. Let's see here. Now, I like the way that that looks. It's starting to come together. And we'll just keep putting a few more in here just to create this really beautiful fall foliage. And the best part is you don't have to water these because they are already they're fake, which is great. So you just kind of add that in. And then, you know, it's fun for Christmas. You can just switch these out for like bows of holly and, you know, various like evergreen. Cranberries are always a great one as well. So as you can see, it's starting to look really beautiful. We add a little bit of red to create some depth there. And then if you wanted to put more into the base here, we'll see how it looks after we finish crafting everything here. And just kind of keep sticking them in and seeing what you like, right? I think it's really fun to do this. And the best part is these are not real flowers, so that you can really experiment and try different variations as you're putting things together. Now I've got these really fun, I don't even know what these would be called, but just I love the textures and the different dimensions of all of these flowers. It looks like we've got some berries, and then these are my favorite. So these are really great fillers to kind of stick in there, and it really just creates depth, gives it a little bit more volume, and then, you know, the more you put in here, it's just a gorgeous centerpiece to put in the middle of your table. So I've got it in a bunch of different fun colors. I like the red. It looks like a peacock feather in my opinion. So we're gonna go ahead and stick this in here as well. And then you can even like cut it up and cut the various lengths. So, you know, I'm looking at it, I don't really like that length. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go ahead and, you know, trim it up a little bit with my wire cutters. You can get these for like $4 at Walmart, really great. But all of this really you can just get to Walmart, and especially now it's a great time to get these kinds of things because things are on sale, right? You can either get it for next year. That's my holiday hack and my holiday tip and trick is buy the Thanksgiving things after Thanksgiving, or same with like any of the Halloween decor, and then that way you've got it like ready to rock. You're not rushing around being stressed out. Okay, I like the way that that looks much better. As you can see, looking gorgeous. And before we finish here, I always love a little bit of holiday sparkle. So I am gonna stick this one right in there. I've got a few here, so I'll probably put a couple more in too. Let's just stick one more over here on this side. As you can see, looking great, nice and beautiful. And then just to finish it up, one of the things that would be really fun if we had it would be to take some burlap, wrap it around the outside, you know, just really make it just as festive and as creative as you want to. Now, if you're looking for any more ideas, I'd be happy to share, but holiday crafting season is upon us. It's going to be a good one. So this is a gorgeous centerpiece for your Thanksgiving table. Now stay tuned, we'll be right back after this.
Welcome back to the show. As we're all getting down with our holiday shopping, we're going to be spending a lot of time online sending credit card information and money back and forth over the internet. So up next, we've got a segment that's going to help us kind of navigate how to deal with a little bit of that online shopping in a more safe and secure fashion.
We are at the beginning of November, and you know what that means. There are all kinds of online shopping deals prepping ahead for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And I don't know about you, but I do a lot of my shopping online and with Amazon. But did you know that 36% of shoppers are victim to online scams? And joining us today is Scott Knapp, the Director of Worldwide Risk Prevention at Amazon. Scott, how are you this morning?
I'm doing great, Kimberly, thanks.
Loving the shirt, looking very festive, and especially as we move into the holiday season. So what are your tips for online holiday shopping?
So first and foremost, I like to tell people that you can always trust shopping on Amazon.com, our app, or in our physical store. So my biggest tip, go with what you know, is super useful. Then be wary of people who are trying to have you pay for things over the phone or email. We'll never ask you to do that. Another thing I tell people is gift cards. Great to have them, great to give them, great to use them, but be really careful if somebody's trying to make you buy something with a gift card. Legitimate transactions shouldn't require you to use a gift card to purchase it. And the final tip I tell is, be skeptical of things you didn't expect. And if it doesn't feel quite right, reach out to us. You can reach out via the app or the website, or you can just report it to us straight up at amazon.com/report-a-scam.
I love that. Now, especially with the rise of people traveling for the holidays, it's just so much easier to send gifts directly to your place or the place that you're visiting. And I use Amazon all the time, so I trust it. It's a trusted source. Now, what are some of the most common impersonation scams that are happening as people begin to do their online holiday shopping?
Yeah, well, and one of them, like you just mentioned, is the order confirmation scam. Where you'll get this note that says, hey, there's a problem with your Amazon order. Like you're worried about something getting to grandma's house. And they don't say that, but they just assume that maybe you've got an order out there. And so now you're reaching out to them and giving them a bunch of information that they don't need, and then they can use against you. The other two most popular we're seeing that have just risen up this time of year is around email attachments, where they'll send you this note saying, hey, your account's getting ready to get shut down. And they put this information into an attachment with a link in it. And guess what? You click on that link and you end up on their phishing website, giving them information they don't need. And then the final one that's super popular this time of year is the Prime membership scam. Big day deals just happened, really great things going on with Prime membership. And so they send you this note that there's a problem with your membership and you need to work with us to work it out. And part of that working it out is you giving up your credit card details, maybe bank account information. And there's one outfit that was actually bold enough to say, pretend to be Amazon and charging you to fix your Prime membership account. None of those are really great.
I know I've almost been a victim to that as well by receiving a text message saying, Amazon had an issue with my delivery or with my account information. So, what is Amazon doing to protect consumers from these counterfeits?
We're a few things. One, it's an industry-wide issue. And so we've working with others, partnered with Better Business Bureau, Global Cyber Alliance, a lot of folks to try to come up with paths to shut these things down. One of the things, for instance, that report-a-scam that I gave you, that we take those reports, investigate, and then take action. For instance, this year so far, we've shut down over 45,000 phishing websites, over 15,000 phone numbers. So we can make a real difference for consumers by going after these guys.
Wow, over 45,000 phishing websites. That's an incredible statistic, and just goes to show you how much you are doing to protect the consumer. Now, speaking of, where can we go, and what is Amazon doing to encourage and foster trustworthy reviews?
Yeah, so first and foremost, we have a very clear policy around review manipulation or fake reviews. We have no tolerance for it. Heck, we use them. I use reviews all the time. Just bought a new vacuum cleaner based off our reviews. And we work hard to keep them out of the store entirely. We have scientists who've developed some great algorithms backed by humans, and we suppress them before a customer ever even sees them. But if you happen to read a review that you don't think is quite right there on the site, there's a report button that you can press and tell us about it. We'll investigate and take appropriate action.
Oh, it's scary to think of all of these different things like fake products, fake reviews, impersonation scams. So what should you do if you do suspect something along those lines?
Two things. One, if you suspect it's happening, step away. Like if you're engaged with somebody, either phone, email, online chat, or whatever, just shut it down. And just step back from it. And then the next thing is tell us. Like I say, go to amazon.com/reportascam and let us know. That lets us investigate, lets us take action, protect you and other consumers from it happening to them.
Well, Scott, thank you so much for all of that information. Now, where can we go to learn more or to better protect ourselves as we head into the holiday shopping season?
Yeah, our help pages, amazon.com/help, is a great place to go. There's all kinds of resources there that should help you shop and keep you safe for the holidays.
You've got great chat rooms and also customer service to get on the phone, so we appreciate you. Scott, best of luck to you and enjoy this holiday season. I know it's going to be a busy one for you.
All right. Thanks, Kimberly. Appreciate it.
Welcome back to the show. If you have any experience firsthand with art, you know that sculpture can be one of the more challenging mediums. You got to get things to fit together, balance, and not fall over when you walk away. And so up next, we've got an artist spotlight featuring Carl Lansing, a local sculptor.
My name is Carl Lansing. I'm a Canadian artist. I'm here as a wildlife bronze sculptor. My art kind of depicts, or at least I think it depicts, wildlife in realism. I spend a lot of time out in the outdoors from the time I was old enough to be in the outdoors on my own. So in my teenage years, I would spend a lot of my time out fishing, hunting, hiking, camping, and a lot of it by myself. You know, I'd go out, take my dog, and we'd hike into some little mountain lake. And so, yeah, nature has always inspired me, and wildlife has always been kind of a keynote in my makeup. In fact, in high school, all my friends, everybody knew me as Elk. That was my nickname. And I mean, when I say everybody, including the law officers in town. So as a sculptor, I try and sculpt my pieces in such a way that when people come in and look at them, their first impression is, it looks real. If I can achieve that kind of response, then I feel I've had a success in that piece. If I don't, if people come in and go, oh, that's beautiful, or that looks amazing, and that's all well and good, and it's a very nice compliment, but I sometimes wonder, did I miss something? Did I not quite get something right? If you put everything you have into it, then having confirmation that what you've done is inspiring or awesome, or it moves people to go like, wow, you built that, or wow, you made that. That kind of confirmation helps keep me as an artist and me as a person kind of moving forward. And I think it's that way in every walk of life. If somebody is always pushing you back or holding you down or knocking you down, pretty soon you just give up and you just kind of say, well, you know what, I'll go off and do something else because that's not working for me. You know, so confirmation and adoration on your piece of work by the people who come in and look at it, that's a big part of what keeps us as artists moving forward and trying to create the next piece a little bit better than the last piece. Because you always feel like, gee, well, if I could just get that one little bit, there's room for me to improve. When we stop looking at pieces and think, well, that's as good as I can do it, I just don't see myself being able to do it any better, you really at that point probably should step away for a while, because if you're not always trying to improve and do better, your work will eventually start to actually slide back the other way. I've been doing this 30 years, and yeah, I'm still, every piece I do, I look at it and I think, that's a better piece than the last piece. Or, okay, Carl, you can do better than that. Just focus, bear down and get at her, So sometimes you have to motivate yourself, and other times you just kind of put a piece out there so quickly and you think, wow, where'd that come from? One thing I would say to people who are really drawn to three-dimensional art, bronze sculpture and other types of sculpture, is generally, don't be afraid to touch it. It's a touchable art. It helps awaken another part of our senses. When we can use our sense of touch, we get a more intimate feeling for that piece of art.
This weather report is brought to you by Sun and Ski Sports, your new mountain sports headquarters.
Well, that's all the time we have for this Sunday edition of Wasatch Weekends. Don't forget to catch us tomorrow, where we've got a world champion boxer stopping by to tell us all about his new movie. We've also got a local artist and, of course, a little bit of advice on how to keep ourselves safe during the cold and flu season. Until then, this is Wasatch Weekends. I'm your host, Ben Roof, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow.